Today we're looking at 5 new TV shows and movies coming out July 2023 that feature queer women in them. First up, technically June 29th, but so close to July that I popped it in, is a new web series called My Ex's Signs. Well, that's the English translation anyway. Now, the synopsis for this web series is Victoria is a 28-year-old and her love life is summarized in 12 ex-girlfriends with 12 breakups. To understand why it doesn't work out for anyone, she looks for a therapist who encouraged her to follow a journey to investigate her past. Victoria then goes after the reasons for each of the breakups, meeting each of her exes again to try and discover their signs, hoping to find a justification for why her love life is a real failure. So like I said, it's a web series. It's up on YouTube right now. I believe the first 2 episodes are up and they're releasing weekly from here on out. Bad news is there's no specific English subtitles. There's Portuguese subtitles that you can get sort of auto-translated that YouTube does, but they're not super reliable. So hopefully they're able to pop up some English subtitles soon. But if you want to check this one out, I have a link in the description to their YouTube channel. Next up is the movie Bad Girl Boogie, which has a release date of July 4th.
The 4th of July.
Now, this is an Australian indie film. It looks very indie, right? You can tell from the trailer. Because it's Australian, it has been out in Australia for a little while. So if you are in Australia, you can actually go get this on DVD now. I believe it came out in the theaters in August of last year something like that. But I believe it has an international release date of July 4th. Now, this movie is hella queer, but again, it's a horror movie. There's a lot of queer people dying.
Some psycho kills her and they're more freaked out that she's queer.
So keep that in mind. So if you're into the horror stuff, Bad Girl Boogie is releasing internationally July 4th. But like I said, if you're here in Australia, it's out already, so you can go check that one out. Next up, coming out July 7th, is the movie Joyride.
This is gonna be iconic.
Now, I've got a bit of a question mark around this because they're watching the trailers. I've been watching all the trailers that have been releasing because this movie is interesting to me, but I've been watching to see if there's any queer in it. Now, there's not really anything queer that I saw specifically except for this one look in one of the trailers. Again, it's a split-second look and I was like, damn, I'm shipping it. But it kind of gives me a Bridesmaids vibe, this movie. It looks like an absolute mess. But the reason why I've put some question marks in it, even though there hasn't really been anything specifically queer in the trailers, 3 of the 4 main cast are queer actresses and they've played queer characters in the past. One from the iconic movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I absolutely love. Another from the Foster's spin-off series Good Trouble. So yeah, I am interested to see this because it looks like an absolute mess of a movie in a good way, but I'm just fingers crossed it's got queer in it because it'd be such a waste of the cast if there isn't. But yeah, that one's releasing July 7th in theaters. Next up, we got a couple coming out on July 27th. First up, we have the 4th season of Harley Quinn is releasing on HBO Max. Or I believe it's called Max now, isn't it?
What up, Gotham City? Harley and Ivy are back!
Again, Harley Quinn, the animated series, is an absolute mess of a show. It's great. Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy are in a canon relationship, which is great. Love to see it. Wish we had that in a live action Harley Quinn movie. I know Margot Robbie was pushing for it so hard, but I don't even know if they're going to do anything live action for Harley Quinn again, which is such a shame. But speaking of Margot Robbie, I'm secretly hoping we get something queer in Barbie movie, even though I feel the chances of that is 0. But I'm still crossing my fingers. But yeah, so 4th season of Harley Quinn dropping July 27th. Another question mark movie I've got July 27th is Talk to Me.
What happens after 90 seconds?
Don't want to stay.
Now, I've had my eye on this one for a little bit because, again, it's an Australian horror movie, which I guess we really love Australian horror movies. But what's been really interesting about this one is this movie was actually made by 2 YouTubers, Australian YouTubers, which is really, really cool to me because that's my dream to make a queer feature film. One day we'll get there. So I've been keeping an eye on this because I love the idea that these 2 YouTubers have made a feature film that got picked up by A24 and yeah, it's really cool. I've heard some really, really good reviews about this movie, about it being a really great horror movie, so I'm interested in that aspect. I have put a question mark next to it though, because I'm not sure if we're really going to have any relationships, let alone sapphic relationships. But we have a queer actor in the cast, Zoe Terakes, I believe their name is. So they're trans, non-binary, and they've played some queer characters in their previous shows and movies. So I'm not sure if their character is going to be specifically queer at all in the movie, but I'm very interested in this movie. So I thought I would put it on your radar as well in case there are some queer elements to it. Now, some more shows continuing on into July from June. We've got Nancy Drew, Love Always, which has been like this reality show that is posting on YouTube. So you can watch the full episodes on YouTube. They release them. We've got And Just Like That, which is the Sex and the City spin-off that started up in June and is continuing on into July. We have the Australian show Deadlock, the New Zealand show Double Parked, the web series Stupid Wife, and apparently there's a queer relationship in iCarly.
Interesting.
I haven't watched the new series. I didn't watch the original series. I have no idea about the show, but apparently there's a queer character in that, so I popped that in there. So let me know if there are any other TV shows or movies releasing in July 2023 that you guys are excited for. Otherwise, if you'd like to check out my reaction to the thriller movie Jagged Mind, check it out here. Otherwise, I'll see you all in my next video. Okay, bye.